Welcome to Gardening with Style. Today, we're bringing the outdoors in. 90% of people worldwide are spending nearly 22 hours a day indoors, according to the Indoor Generation Report, without enough daylight or fresh air. Bringing Mother Nature indoors reduces stress and adds light, life, and happiness into your home. Today, our focus will be on succulents and air plants, how to incorporate them into an indoor planting, and how to care and propagate these tiny, trendy plants. Cindy Haynes caught up with Josh Spece, an industry expert on succulents and air plants in Independence, Iowa, where Josh lives and owns a greenhouse.
Thank you so much as well for letting us look at all the air plants and succulents that you have in the greenhouse. You have quite a selection.
They are so much fun. The mangaves have been very popular. That's something new. It's a hybrid between a agave and a manfreda.
Oh.
And they're very easy to grow, and they get quite large and have lots of really interesting colors.
So, and if they're easy to grow, because if it's agave, that's a really nice succulent that is incredibly drought tolerant.
It is. They're very resilient. They can go a long time without water, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and beautiful colors and shapes and sizes.
They do, yes.
Oh, that's great. What else do we have up here?
Another one that works really well for indoors is the Sansevieria, or mother-in-law's tongue is the common name for them.
Or snake plant.
Or snake plant, that's right.
This is really great. I love this one because it is so easy to grow.
Very easy, yes.
Right,
they are
some fun ones here.
Almost as foolproof as a plant can be.
I agree. And for a house plant and for something compact, you can't
a
get
dorm room or anything.
You can't get anything better than this.
Yes.
And do you know why it's called mother-in-law's tongue?
I do not.
Because it's long and sharp.
Okay.
Apparently a lot like a mother-in-law's tongue.
Gotcha, yes, yes. But that's a great plant for anybody who's just getting started in succulents.
I agree. I agree. And beautiful colors here too.
Absolutely.
And then we have some more stuff up here. Oh, look at these air plants.
So these are air plants. Not really succulents. They grow in the rainforest, actually.
Okay.
Up in the trees, they don't grow in soil.
Hence the name air plant.
Hence the name air plant, yep. But that can cause some problems for some people. They think air plants don't need anything to survive.
Oh.
But since they come from the rainforest, they do need water. That's the most important thing.
How often do you water them?
We try to water them about 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And we just mist them, or you can soak them in a bowl of water.
So quick dip and you're done.
And then let them dry off. And you can really do pretty much anything with them since they don't need soil.
I like it. I like easy to care for.
That's right.
Excellent.
Always good.
Excellent. And then we have something else up here too. You've got so many cool plants. Tell me about this one. I don't know anything about
So
the
this
dolphin plant.
is the plant that the whole internet has been after. This is called the string of dolphins.
It does look like a little
If
dolphin.
you look at it, the leaves do look like little green dolphins. It's a trailing plant, so it works well to cascade over the edge of your container garden.
That's pretty.
Or in a hanging basket is good too.
So you can have just a whole hanging basket of nothing but this.
The string of dolphins,
Oh, wow.
right? Yes. And like any succulent, very easy to care for. Bright light, let it dry out in between waterings.
Okay. Direct light, like maybe an eastern or western window?
Yep, east or west window works well.
Perfect. Oh, it's very fun. And a little bit harder to find this one.
It is a little bit harder to find, it is. But it's worth looking for.
Excellent. Very good. And then we also have some succulents here that are kind of cool, that are blooming.
That are blooming, yes. Usually you don't think of growing succulents for the flowers.
Right.
But some of them do have very interesting blooms.
I recognize this one.
That is a lifesaver plant.
And it looks just like a lifesaver.
It does, yes.
It's kind of cool.
And the other one is called baby toes.
And it does look like little toes.
They do.
Beautiful flower.
Kind of looks like a giant dandelion.
What you could have inside and which will not reseed everywhere.
No,
So that's a
definitely
good
not.
thing. That's a good thing. This is the nice kind of dandelion to have.
Yes.
So very cool. And once again, succulents, so easy to care for?
Very easy to care for. Give them as much sun as you can give them, and make sure they dry out in between watering.
Yeah, fastest way to kill a succulent is to water
Keep
it
it
too much.
wet.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's for sure. Awesome. So what else do we have?
I have some other cute plants I'd like to show you.
Oh, nice.
I hope you're not scared of mice, though.
I'm not so sure I want to do this one. Cool. Let's go.
So, Cindy, this is my collection of mouse ear hostas.
I like this collection of mice. This I can handle.
Yeah, these are all kind of a newer trend in hostas. They're all miniatures that originated from blue mouse ears. And now we have this whole series of variegated forms. We have Mighty Mouse and Church Mouse and Sun Mouse. And
I
it
see
just goes on
knockout
and on.
mouse.
Yes.
Oh, they're so cute. They're so adorable. Now, how do you plant them or how do you use these in the garden?
They're fun to grow in container gardens. But you can also grow them in the open garden like any other hosta. It's kind of fun to do them in their own little miniature area, though.
Right, to make them the focus, like a fairy
right.
garden or something.
That's right.
I can see that.
Fairy gardens are very popular, and they fit in with that trend very well.
I could see that. Any issues with them being less hardy or equally as cold hardy?
They are every bit as hardy as any other hosta.
Oh, perfect. So they're easy to grow and make a nice little feature.
Very easy.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for showing us your mice collection and the air plants and the succulents. We've had so much fun touring the gardens today with you.
Thanks for coming.
So which one should I take home?
One of each.
I like it.
Josh and Cindy spent time looking at a variety of unique succulents and air plants. What we have here is a group of hand-selected plants from Josh's greenhouse. We're going to use these plants for a couple of fun projects that I'd like to show you. Here I have a nice assortment of air plants, and because these plants don't have soil or roots, we display them in a different way. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. You can mount them using wire or glue, although when you do that, when you glue them to something like a magnet or a wine cork or mount them to like a board, you're going to run into some challenges sometimes taking care of them. So I like to spend time finding places where I can just set them. So using a nice tray like this, or even something fun like this seashell, you can use devices that are meant for air plants, so like a hand globe that you can just set the air plant inside, or you can repurpose something like this drinking glass, which is just put in with some of these fun air plants. You can also fashion something out of wire. This is just a holder that I made out of this aluminum wire. Just by wrapping it around and then setting the air plant in, I can hang this anywhere. What I'd like to show you more specifically today is how we can create a terrarium. You can use any closed or semi-closed glass container. The air plants really enjoy the higher humidity that happens in that kind of container. This is just a glass canister that I found in the store. I've already put some colorful marbles in the bottom of this. This will help kind of add some interest to the terrarium. And unlike a typical terrarium, this one's even easier to put together because all we're really doing is setting these plants inside. So I can take some of these fun things, even like this one in the seashell here, and I'm going to try to mix up my sizes and my shapes. This one's kind of fun. As air plants grow, they create offsets, and those offsets kind of create this big clump. I have some really interesting ones here to look at. And I'm just going to set these down inside my terrarium. Put a lid on it. Now, care of this is going to be a little different than your typical houseplant as well. When we want to make sure that when we water this, we can mist it. Although sometimes when we're misting, it can be difficult depending on where we have them displayed. So one of the things I like to do is to actually take them out of their container and submerge them in water. The key to that, though, is after they've been sitting in that water for a couple of minutes, and maybe every fourth or fifth time that you do this, you put a little bit of fertilizer, quarter strength, in the water to help them. A good tip is to make sure that when you take them out, you set them upside down. And you let them sit that way for at least a couple of hours. That will allow the excess water to drain out. Any water that's allowed to collect in this rosette of leaves will cause the plant to potentially rot, and we of course don't want to see that. So doing that can go a long way to help keeping these plants nice and healthy. Place them in a bright spot and you're good to go. We were also fortunate enough to get a really nice collection of fun succulents from Josh's greenhouse, and you can see some of those here. And succulents are all fleshy leaved and really like drier conditions, or at least really well-drained conditions. And that's what kind of unites all these plants together. Interestingly, all cactus are succulents, but not all succulents are cacti. And in fact, none of the plants I have here for our project are actually in the cactus family. I have things like echeverias, portulacas, agave, sedums, and lots of other kind of fun succulent plants. And we can combine all these together into a fun grouping because they all like the same growing conditions. So today I'm going to be creating this nice dish garden using this rustic tray that I found here. You can use any container for this project. The important thing is that it has a drainage hole. This terracotta pot's made specifically for succulents, and that drainage hole is really important. So we're going to make sure any container that we use has that. So to get started on our tray here that I think will look really great on my kitchen table, we can do one of two things. We can propagate the sedums by taking cuttings, or we can just plant them outright. If we decided to propagate them, we could simply just take a snip, take it off, and then a good tip is to let these pieces sit for at least 24 hours. We can use little leaf pieces as well as cuttings, and this we would also want to sit. It allows that cut end to callus over, and that callus will help prevent the cuttings from kind of rotting in the soil while they're hopefully trying to root. My plants here look so nice that I don't need to take cuttings out of them. I'm just going to plant them up right away, and I'll have a nice finished product right away. When you take cuttings, it takes about 4 weeks, sometimes a little bit longer for them to take root. This will be ready to go almost right instantly. All we're going to do is simply combine all these plants into this container. So I'm going to pull them out, shake off any excess soil, and pot them up. My goal here is to mix different forms, colors, textures, sizes, and shapes. That adds a lot of interest to the planting. And so I'm also going to work to try to get my tall stuff in the center and the shorter stuff on the end. I'm going to try to mix up things that are trailing with things that are more upright. All of this variation is what adds a lot of interest to this planting. Sometimes the root balls will fall apart a little bit as you're working on this. Just be as gentle as possible, be as nice as you can. Those plants will reestablish pretty nicely over time. Now the potting soil I've used for this container can be one of many different things. You can buy ready-made cactus or succulent potting mix, or you can amend regular potting soil with something that improves drainage like perlite, and that's what I've done here. All of these plants like that sharp drainage. I'll find a nice bright location after I water this in for the first time and let them grow on their way. If you notice these plants getting a little lanky, that means they're not getting enough light in most situations, and you'll want to try to improve the light situation, finding a brighter location for them. We have this all assembled here. We can set it on my kitchen table and enjoy the beauty that these plants can bring into our home. While the hostas Josh showed us are not suited for an indoor environment like the succulents and air plants, they are simply adorable and an up-and-coming trend in gardening. These would work great on a shady patio or deck to add a little bit of touch of garden goodness to your home. We thought we'd show you one idea we had using the miniature hostas Josh introduced us to, and that's to make a mixed container planting. Now, often we think about annuals as being the thing that we use in mixed containers, but perennials can work too. We're going to start by selecting good plants. We have these wonderful miniature hostas that Josh introduced us to, and we're going to mix those with some other colors, shapes, and forms. In particular, things like texture are good too. I have a nice shallow container here. The bigger the better. That will overwinter better. And something that is frost-proof will be important as well. This is not likely to crack in the freeze-thaw cycle like something like terracotta would. I filled this with potting soil. I put a little broken chip of terracotta over the drainage hole to help keep the soil from running out, but still let the water run out. And then I just need to assemble my container. I'm going to try to use a variety of colors, of course, and then shapes and sizes, and textures are going to be important too. So I'm going to set these in here. Tall stuff should be in the middle or the back, shorter stuff towards the front. I have this really fun ajuga or bugleweed that is a nice different color. It's important that any complementing plants that you put with your hostas or anything that you're putting in a mixed container has the same growing requirements, in particular the same soil, water, and sun requirements. And these ajugas like the same shady conditions and moist, well-drained soils that our hostas do. I also found this really nice ground cover. This is called Brass Buttons. It's a cultivar called Platts Black. And it has this really nice fine texture, which is a nice offset to the more bold texture or coarse texture of the hostas. Once I have all my plants arranged in my container here, I can kind of fill in with any additional soil. And it'll be really important to water this in. Get that soil settled around those root balls and get those plants off to a good start. Winter care for your container with perennials in it is going to look a little different. We need to protect that root zone from the cold. And when they're in the ground, Mother Nature does that for us. But up in this container, they're much more exposed. So we need to figure out some way to protect this root system. One way you can do that is to simply bring it into an unheated garage or porch that doesn't get too cold, but still gets below about 40 degrees. Another thing we can do is bury the container over winter. We do this around the end of November and simply sink it into the ground, maybe put a little bit of straw over top of it, let it overwinter that way, pull it out about mid-March and get it growing again. I hope you'll try one of these fun projects and make a connection to nature. I'm Aaron Steil. Thanks for joining me on Gardening with Steil.
Coming up on the all-new Gardening with Steil special.
Today, we're talking totally tomatoes. A lot of these wonderful heirloom tomatoes have amazing stories surrounding them.
It's called Willie's Garden tomato. It's a fairly unique because it's a yellow paste tomato.
Every year since I've been married, planted a garden, and my wife says they're good, so here we are.
So what do you think makes a tasty tomato?
Something that's good on a sandwich.
We've made this beautiful piece of land that's abundant with food, and we want to embrace that and host people here at the farm.
The diversity of perennials that can be grown in Iowa is huge.
I decided to try to plant my garden for fall color.
Oh, look at all the bees.
It's only its second year, but what a butterfly magnet.
I work on the perennial bed, and we try to feature perennials that bloom throughout the year.
Great things come in little packages, and tiny houseplants are great additions to the home.
My plant passion came from working in the garden with my mom when I was little. People have felt compelled to incorporate more natural elements into their living spaces.
Terrariums are a great way to grow houseplants. A layer about an inch thick on the bottom of your jars. There's lots of cool, colorful things in there, and I like using this stuff because it's so fun and colorful.
Don't miss the all-new Gardening with Steil special, premiering Saturday, February 19th, only on Iowa PBS.
welcome to Gardening with Style. Helping pollinators prosper is an important and timely topic. Almost 3/4 of all plants rely on animal pollinators, and 35% of the world's food crops depend on the work of pollinators like bees, butterflies, birds, bats, beetles, and other small mammals and insects. Creating a pollinator-friendly habitat is one of the best ways to help pollinators prosper. Much research has been done on honeybees and monarch butterflies as important pollinators, but these are just 2 of the hundreds of insect species and other animals that help pollinate plants. Understanding more about the native species in a given area is something many scientists and other researchers are interested in knowing more about. I got a chance to speak to Nathan Brockman from Ryman Gardens about how we, as concerned citizens, can help.
What can people do to promote insect pollinators in their own yard?
Well, one thing is really watch that they reduce their pesticide usage. Any insecticide you apply is going to affect all your insects. But on top of that, when you're planting your plants, plant a variety of flowers of different shapes, whether they're fluted or they're flat like dinner plates or something more rounded like this here. And you can see there's a bunch of pollinators right there. We've got some wasps, we got some bees, we got some flies, we got beetles, we got a little bit of everything all right there in that one thing. Different colors is always important. Different colors actually can really affect what species you'll get in your garden. And then if you want more butterflies in your gardens, planting larger clusters of the same type of plant, because they have to kind of relearn each time they try and switch a flower, so they do so much better if you have a lot of the same plant.
Well, I know Ryman Gardens is working on promoting pollinators through a program. Tell us more about this program.
So we have the Iowa Butterfly Survey Network, which we call IBSN, and we train citizen scientists to go out into the field and survey butterfly populations over the course of the year after year, and so that we can really see how trends change from year to year.
So what do these volunteer citizen scientists actually do?
Well, so I've set up so that you can go out to Ada Hayden and meet with Stephanie Fox, who is one of our volunteers, and you can see.
So, Stephanie, what got you so interested in volunteering for the Iowa Butterfly Survey Network?
Well, I've been a volunteer at Ryman Gardens for a number of years, particularly in the butterfly wing. So I'd gotten to learn about butterflies and became interested in it. So this seemed like a really good fit and an opportunity I wanted to pursue.
Yeah. So what do you do when you do these walks?
Well, it's a standard route that I take, the same route every time. And it's broken down into sections based on, is it wooded, is it meadows? And then I look fairly narrow. I can't look clear out on the horizon. Right. It's a short span that I can look at and see butterflies, and then I will just look, see a butterfly, and then I'll make a note on my clipboard here.
Yeah, we're seeing some really interesting ones over here.
We've got a monarch, we've got a number of different skippers out there. Yeah, that's really popular. That purple bush is very popular.
So how did you learn how to identify all these butterflies?
Well, Ryman Gardens gave us some great training on this, and there's not a lot of diversity amongst butterflies, especially here at the lake. I've only seen a few over 30 different species, so you get a lot of confidence that you're identifying them correctly, unlike birds, there might be 200 or 300 different ones out here.
Yeah, and what do you enjoy most about being a citizen scientist volunteer with this program?
Well, I had a desk job my whole career, so I always wanted to do something with nature, and I find this very fulfilling. And my favorite thing is when I see a butterfly that maybe I only see once a year, and those are the exciting ones, the ones maybe you got to do a little research on what is it I just saw.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all the work you do to help support and promote pollinators here in Iowa.
Well, we're glad to have the opportunity.
Learning more about the important native pollinators in Iowa is a great way to understanding more about what we can do to save them and the habitats they live in. There are many things you can do in your own garden to attract and promote welcomed insects, and there are many ways to get involved in your community to do the same. After all, when you know more about the pollinator, you can do more to protect it. As we leave you, here are some beautiful images of hundreds of native and exotic butterflies you can see pollinating plants at Ryman Gardens. I'm Steil. Thanks for joining me on Gardening with Style.